It was a cold morning, the kind where the air bites your skin, and the sky looks like it's holding its breath. A man in a sleek black car drove down a lonely road, his face tight with tension. In the back seat sat a little girl, clutching her teddy bear like it was the only thing keeping her grounded. She didn't know what was coming, but fate had other plans. On that quiet morning, Victor Langley pulled his luxury car into a secluded riverside spot. Beside him sat 5-year-old Lily, who hadn't said a word since they left their mansion. Her small hands gripped her stuffed bear tightly. She knew something was wrong. The trees stood tall and silent, watching as Victor unloaded Lily's wheelchair from the trunk. His jaw was clenched, his eyes distant, filled with a coldness no father should ever wear. Lily looked around nervously. "Daddy, why are we here so early?" Her voice trembled slightly. "Quiet," he snapped, harsher than he meant to. He wasn't cruel by nature, but desperation had made him cold. He adjusted the wheelchair, cursing under his breath when he saw a chestnut-colored horse grazing nearby. It lifted its head, ears twitching, sensing something off about the scene unfolding near the riverbank. Victor ignored the animal and wheeled Lily toward a small dock. The river was swollen from recent rains, its current swift and dangerous. Each creak of the wooden planks sent a shiver through Lily's spine. "I don't want to go on the boat today, Daddy," she whispered. "It's too dark." But Victor wasn't listening. He helped her into a small rowboat tied to the dock, scanning the area to make sure they were alone. The horse watched intently from the shore, its instincts flaring at the tension in the air. Victor pushed off, the oars slicing through the water. Lily sat curled up, hugging her bear, tears silently streaming down her face. Something was very wrong. The horse on the shore suddenly reared up, neighing loudly as if trying to warn someone, anyone, that something terrible was about to happen. Victor rowed steadily until they reached the center of the river. There, the current was strongest, the water deep and unforgiving. He stopped rowing. Lily looked up at him with wide, fearful eyes. "Poppy," she whispered, her voice trembling. "I'm scared." Victor didn't answer. He stood slowly, his shadow looming over her like a storm cloud. His expression was unreadable, but his eyes burned with a determination that chilled Lily to the bone. Then, without a word, he grabbed her shoulders and shoved her into the icy water. The splash echoed across the still river. Lily disappeared beneath the surface, stunned by the cold and the shock of betrayal. Above, Victor stood motionless, watching as the ripples spread outward. But fate had not yet decided to let her go. From the shore, the chestnut horse bolted forward, leaping into the water without hesitation. Its powerful legs churned against the current, cutting through the waves with fierce determination. Lily sank deeper, her limbs numb, her lungs burning. Just as darkness began to blur her vision, she felt something brush against her arm. A rope? No fur. She reached out blindly, fingers grasping for life itself, and caught hold of the horse's thick mane. With incredible strength, the animal surged toward the opposite bank, pulling Lily along. Her tiny fingers clung to its mane, her only lifeline in a world gone cold. Back on the original shore, Victor stared in disbelief before rowing frantically back, panic replacing the cold calculation in his eyes. He couldn't believe this, his plan ruined by a horse? On the far side of the river, an old farmer named Thomas spotted the commotion. He dropped his bucket and ran toward the bank, heart pounding. As the horse reached the shore, Thomas rushed forward and pulled Lily onto dry land. She coughed violently, gasping for air as Thomas checked her pulse. "She's alive," he murmured, relief washing over him. "You're safe now, little one." The horse stood beside them, panting heavily, its sides slick with river water. It nudged Lily gently with its nose, as if checking on her. Thomas wrapped her in his coat, whispering reassurances as he carried her toward his modest farmhouse. The horse followed closely behind, never straying far from the child it had just saved. Inside, Thomas settled Lily on the couch, wrapping her in blankets. He made tea while the horse waited by the window, its large brown eyes never leaving the girl. Lily didn't speak, just stared blankly ahead, shaken beyond words. Later that night, the news broke. Lily Mendoza had gone missing after a supposed boating accident. Her father, Victor, appeared on television, shedding crocodile tears for the cameras. Thomas turned off the TV, disgusted. He looked at Lily sleeping peacefully on the couch, then at the horse standing guard by the window. "You saved her," he whispered to the animal. "Now I have to protect her." Over the next few days, Thomas learned more about Lily's story. Her mother, Elena, had vanished months earlier, leaving behind cryptic notes hinting at danger. Lily, unable to walk due to a rare condition, had been left vulnerable. Victor had taken advantage of that, seeing her inheritance as a way to fund his failing business empire. But Thomas wasn't about to let that happen. He called on his neighbor Maria, a kind-hearted woman who quickly became part of their makeshift family. Together, they vowed to keep Lily safe, even if it meant going against the powerful Victor Langley. Meanwhile, the chestnut horse, whom Lily lovingly named Thunder, refused to leave Lily's side. Whether it was instinct or something deeper, the bond between them was undeniable. Days turned into weeks. Thunder stayed close, always alert, always protective. And slowly, Lily began to open up. One evening, as Thunder rolled in the distance, Lily whispered, "Mama said good people come when you need them most." Thomas smiled gently. "She sounds like a wise woman." "I miss her," Lily said softly, clutching a silver locket around her neck. Inside was a photo of her and her mom. "We'll find her," Thomas promised. Together. What happened next? Maria discovered a hidden diary belonging to Elena, revealing shocking secrets about Victor's shady business dealings and how he had faked Elena's disappearance. More importantly, it contained clues pointing to a hidden location, a place Elena had told Lily about in bedtime stories, a house surrounded by blue butterflies. Thomas and Maria realized this could be the key to exposing Victor and reuniting Lily with her mother. They devised a risky plan to sneak into town during the annual Harvest Festival, using the chaos as cover to access the local bank vault where Elena had stored crucial documents. Lily, disguised as Maria's granddaughter, played her role beautifully. But just as they accessed the vault, Victor showed up. Just when all seemed lost, Thunder created a distraction outside, galloping wildly through the crowd, causing enough confusion for Lily and her allies to escape with the evidence. They raced to the secret location, a peaceful cottage surrounded by wildflowers and swarms of bright blue butterflies. There, waiting with tear-filled eyes, was Elena. Mother and daughter collapsed into each other's arms, sobbing with joy. Elena explained everything, how she had faked her disappearance to gather proof against Victor, knowing he would stop at nothing to get her money and control Lily's inheritance. With the evidence in hand, authorities arrested Victor for fraud, attempted murder, and falsifying legal documents. Lily was finally free. Call to action. If you're watching this story unfold and feeling inspired by the courage of a little girl, the loyalty of a brave horse, and the kindness of strangers who became family, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment sharing what touched you most, and let us know if you'd like to hear more stories about hope, heroism, and the power of love. Because sometimes the most unlikely heroes appear when we need them most. And so Lily, Elena, Thomas, Maria, and Thunder found peace in the cottage among the blue butterflies. The house, once a place of mystery, became a sanctuary, filled with laughter, warmth, and the scent of Maria's famous apple pies. Lily grew stronger every day, both in body and spirit. With therapy and Thunder's constant companionship, she dreamed of riding him one day, not as a passenger, but as his partner. Elena opened a small foundation to help families in crisis, inspired by the kindness shown to her and Lily. Thomas and Maria moved into the cottage permanently, becoming unofficial grandparents to Lily, showering her with love and wisdom. And Thunder? He remained Lily's guardian, always by her side, always ready to protect her. Sometimes, the darkest moments lead to the brightest miracles. Moral lesson: even in the darkest moments, there is always hope, and sometimes it arrives on four hooves.